Hello everyone, welcome to Talking Small to the Dando Man. I am the Dando Man, the best there is, there was and there is to come. Love that. Anyways, today we'll be talking about the different types of entities. Anyways, let's get to it. So the first entity is basically the one-man show. It's the sole proprietorship, or if you don't want to bite your tongue, the sole trader. So basically, this is when one person owns and runs the entire business. And the pros of this is that this person has all control and power, like a dictator, and basically runs the whole show. You get all the profits of the business, and it's very easy or easier to really start and establish compared to other entities. The cons of this, however, is that there is unlimited liability, which means the debts of the business become the debts of the owner of the business, because the business and the owner are not separate, they are one. And so the owner gets to bear all the risks and the financial burden of the business. And when you want to include another person or another partner, you'll have to dissolve the sole trader or the sole proprietorship and establish another entity, which could be a hassle. An example of a sole trader or sole proprietorship is or was Amazon. Jeff Bezos started Amazon as a sole proprietorship and it grew from there. So it's possible to really start your business as a sole trader and just grow it from there. The second one is two for partnership. Where two or more people contribute capital, labor, or resources into one common cause, into one common fund, into a business whereby they share in the ups and the downs of the business. The pros of this is that you get more expertise available to you as a business, you get more labor, you get more capital, you get more skills available to you as a business, and that the risk or the financial burden is spread out across all the partners, and that you have an even distribution of labor, which means that it becomes easier for you to live a well-balanced life. Disadvantage of this is that it is very difficult to sell because you need the approval of the other partners before you can sell. And when you have a fallout with one of your partners, then it will strain the productivity of the business. And also, it is an unlimited liability, which means the debts of the business become the debts of the partners. So that sucks. Then an example of what was once a partnership was Apple. Steve Jobs and the other Steve actually started Apple as a partnership, and it just grew from there. Then the third one is a private company, a P2I Ltd, or if you want to bite your tongue, a proprietorship limited. Now this is a company, which means it is a separate legal entity. So it's separated from the owner, which means it has a life of its own in legal terms. The pros of this private company is that you don't have to explain your financials or decisions to anyone, unlike a public company. And there's limited liability, which means the debts of the business are the debts of the business and are the debts of the owners. And if there's anyone who acts fraudulently or recklessly, they become personally liable for the debts of the business. Then the disadvantages of this is that it's very complicated and challenging to register and expensive compared to the other entities that I've mentioned. And number two, you can't really raise funds by offering your shares or stocks on the stock market, on the stock exchange, unlike a public company. And you have to do annual audits, and they're just a hassle. And you have to comply with a lot of legal requirements. And example of a private company is Virgin, Richard Branson's company. Basically, Virgin Active was private, then became public, then became private again. Complicated-ish. Then the fourth one is a public company. Public company is unlike the private company because you offer your stock to the public through an IPO, initial public offering, and you list your stocks or securities on the stock market or stock exchange. And the value of the business is determined by how well the stocks are performing on the market. The pros of this is that you can easily raise funds by offering your shares or stocks on the market, and basically have more opportunities available to you and as a business. It is also a limited liability, which means the debts of the business are the debts of the business and not the owners. And the disadvantages of this is that it's complicated, it's very challenging to register. You have to comply with a lot of legal requirements as well. And you basically sell your company or your stocks to complete strangers, and you might lose control of your company. Example of a public company is Facebook. Yeah, Facebook. And the fifth one is a franchise. Franchise is basically when the owner of the business gives the right to another person, to a third party, to use their trademark, business systems to sell goods and services of the franchise. So you pay, for the license to use the trademark of the franchisor. And so the advantages of this is that they already have a solid reputation for you to build upon. They have a loyal customer base, which makes it easier for you to come into the market, because you've got an established company, established business which already has a reputation. And the second one is that they offer training programs for you as a franchisee to actually get acquainted with the business systems and the operations. And so you're not left high and dry, along your way while you're still building your business. They don't leave you high and dry. They continue to support you throughout your experience, throughout your venture. And the disadvantages of this is that it's more expensive than starting your actual business. You have to pay royalties to use their trademark, to use their systems, and that's just, lots of money. And then the third thing is that you have to follow lots of regulations, directives from the franchisor, and you can't really have that creative space, the freedom of doing things your way. So an example of a franchise is McDonald's. McDonald's is a franchise, and now it just became hungry. So those are the different types of entities. So I hope you learned something from this. I hope you liked it, because if you did, then like it, share it, and comment on it. If you didn't, just subscribe anyways. I promise I'll do better next time. Anyways, I am the Dando Man, the best there is, the was, and there is to come. Love you guys. Thank you very much for watching. Remember, you'll never turn your dreams into a reality while you're still asleep. Good night. Goodbye.